And I'll post the tracker one more time for you guys, and then I'll share my screen so you can see it. Is it easier for me to send it as a JPEG or a PDF? This is the question for you guys. PDF. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let me just pull up my screen. For whatever reason, sometimes PDFs don't pull up for everybody. I don't know why, but I can't fix it. I've tried lots of times. Okay, here is our work for today. Just get rid of that. And we're just going to focus through this in sections. Okay, so you can write the date at the top if you want to. Just ask questions as we go. Don't be afraid to like chime in. The very first thing we're going to do today is a little bit different. Usually I start with our first post, but I actually wanted to start with a little 5-minute focus because I feel like summer has ended, kids are back in school. Like maybe some of us have a little more brain power. Maybe it's exactly the same as it's always been. Summer, winter, fall, doesn't matter for you. Either way, we are heading into a new season. We're heading into like kind of our end of year push. This is generally the next 3 months are like a little bit slower, picks up a little bit during the holidays. So I just wanted to give everybody a minute to kind of like gather their thoughts, organize, maybe think through your end of year goals, maybe think through your current mindset. If you want to focus on that, you can think about what you love doing the most with body and what you hope to help people feel or accomplish here. You can think about who you're ultimately trying to become. It doesn't really matter. I just want you to be able to focus your mind a little bit, prep it for the power hour, and then we're going to get to work. You can even think about your first post if you want, because that's next. So if you want to start working on that early, you can do that too. So I'm going to give us a few minutes to focus on that, and then we will get started. Okay. While you guys are finishing up, just going to go through our first thing. So our first little section is networking. We're going to connect. And then at the very end, we're going to do just a little bit of inviting, prompted inviting, super simple. So networking, you guys know, goes really fast. Well, if you know, you know, if you've been on my power hour before. If you've never been on a power hour of mine before, post in the chat and then I'll know. But networking is really simple. It's no brainer. It's not emotional. You just do the work, you get through it, and then you move on. The connection piece is when you really put a little more emotion, like that's really where you want to try to attach, I guess, is what I want to say. So we're going to focus on Instagram. Yay. I do have first time people. Yes. I love that. Do you guys know that I still fear that no one is going to show up on a power hour in the morning? Like every day I'm like, please someone show up. Isn't that funny? Anyway, it's just, that's funny. Anyway. Okay. So the very first thing we do is a first post. So what I want you to think about on this one is this morning, if your kids did go back to school or you're in that process and you do have a little more brain power right now to kind of refocus on your business and what you want to do with it, start a conversation about that. Like talk about being a working mom. Sometimes I think you don't realize that you are a working mom when you only work at home, right? But like anyone who is working their body business knows that's not true. You are working a lot. So talk about being like a working mom, talk about what it's like changing your schedule, talk about what it's like putting so much energy and emotion into other people and how you keep your cup filled for your family and the rest of your life, right? Talk about how you balance. Just use the time that you just took to like refocus and take some of that information that you gathered or jotted down or thought through and create a post, start a conversation or share a story, or even you guys share your passion product, the thing that about body that makes you the most excited. That can be anything. It doesn't have to be one of the supplements. It can be a product of a product, right? So just take a minute, do your first post. Again, this is what you're going to network to. So take some time for it. I'm going to give us a good solid 10 minutes to get this done. It takes me a long time to write posts. Sorry about that. I'm going to give us 10 minutes, get your post done. When your first post is posted, write in the chat and say done. Okay. And we're going to go from there. We have 2 more minutes. Okay, we're going to move on to the next thing. Sorry, I know the first post can be hard sometimes, but it's important. It is generally like either my most thought out post of the day or one I don't think about at all. And I'm just like, oh, this is what I got today. I worked out. Have a nice day. That's it for me. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest, as long as it's authentic and it's just what it is for that moment. The most important thing, and I think it's sometimes hard right now to show up authentically, and just what I will say and what I am discovering is that, like, as you're transforming and as you're going through like all these changes with your business or at home or with your body or whatever it is, sometimes it's hard to understand what's authentic and what isn't, because in one moment you might be someone who the next day you're not anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like owning your moment and just showing up real time is so powerful. It really is. And not being ashamed of any part of it, the mess, the good, the bad, the ugly, any of it, just really owning it within yourself, I think is so important. So okay, first post done. So now this is the really quick, simple part. We're just going to share it. Share it to your stories. But I want you to add an interactive piece when you share it to your story. So you can share it to your story and then either take a poll about the topic that you posted about. You can add a button like new post, go check it out. You can ask a question. I like asking questions because people answer it in the little chat box, and then I can pull up a list of people to talk to all day long. That's what I personally like. So that should take like 1 minute. So let's share it. Just going to do it with you guys. This is also a really good exercise, you guys, when you don't really have the energy or thought process to go, like capacity to post. You can go through your old posts, share them to your stories, and then just add an interactive piece. Like you can share a quote that you posted one time and be like, am I right? And then just give them a little poll option to like interact. The interaction part is what's important. Okay. Next, we are going to do our 1 minute like challenge. This is really super simple. Again, you guys, the whole point of networking is to get the algorithm running in your favor, to get social on social media. So your content will get shown more. So that Instagram's like, oh, this person uses all my features. I like this person. Let's reward this person, right? This is the point of it. But it's also prepping yourself for opportunity to connect with people. So as you're engaging in other accounts, you're like leaving your digital business card every single time you like something, comment on something, follow someone. Every single time you leave a trace of activity, if you think about it that way, you leave your digital business card because people can see your handle. And they're like, oh, this person liked my photo. Who is this person? And they can go to your page. That's the whole point of networking. Okay. So just go to your feed. This exercise is super simple. We're going to like as many pictures as we can in 1 minute. And then I'm going to make you write your number in the chat and how many you got. Okay. It's super simple. So we're going to start now. Okay, stop. How many did you get? I should like hand out a prize for this when I do this. You get a car, you get a car. Today I got 51. And I even shared a post with my husband at the same time. My cylinders must be firing this morning. Okay, so you basically just interacted now with at least 20, like at least however many accounts you just liked. So a really good exercise, and what I like to double up on with this, if you've been on my power hours, you've heard this before, is to just kind of scan your feed. Is the stuff that you liked all relevant to you? It may not have to be relevant to your business, but is it relevant to you? Is this the stuff you want to be looking at when you hop on social media? Okay. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is interact with 5 new followers. This is so simple. If you go to your homepage, you pull up your followers. Usually the newest ones are at the very top. So this is really simple. So what I want you to do is we're going to take 5 minutes and we're just going to go to a few accounts of their accounts. Just focus on the ones that look like potentially maybe they could fit into this piece of your life, right? Go to their page, like some of their photos, comment on some of their stuff, just interact with them, acknowledge them, recognize that they just started following you. You don't have to say things like, thanks so much for following me. Just like focus on them. Don't focus on you, focus on them. Okay, so I'm going to give us 5 minutes and you can tell me in the chat after how many people you were able to go in and visit. This is what I like to call my visiting. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. How many people were you able to go visit? I visited 3 people. I love this exercise. You guys, this is one of the things that really builds connection with your people that are following you. So you have to remember, if someone starts following you, it's because they already feel connected to you. So you reciprocating that, acknowledging that, even in the smallest ways, can build the longest lasting relationship. It can build trust. It can build credibility. Like, these exercises may seem so frivolous and lame, but I'm telling you, when people show up on social media and they receive the interaction and connection from people in authentic ways like this, or just, you know what I'm saying? It just is a lot more meaningful, right? So it's important to take your time. It's important to really understand your audience. This will also help you to see who's following you, who you're attracting. It's great. All of these exercises, you can kind of cross into other areas of, oh my gosh, am I building the kind of business and audience that I want to? Am I really striking a chord in my niche? Am I really making a difference? Because I think most of us, and you can post in the chat if you disagree, are here to really help people in any capacity, even if that's just making their day better. I think that's fulfilling for us. Okay. So the next 2 are really simple. I just want you guys to go to your homepage. So click your little house or whatever, and then I'm going to have you click on your heart at the top right. This isn't a good exercise to get into first thing in the morning. It's just interacting, acknowledging. This is what I call acknowledging content interaction. So like when you go to this little heart, it basically shows you all the interaction from people on your stuff. So anybody that's liked your stuff, commented on your stuff, forwarded you stuff, tagged you on stuff, whatever it is, it's all going to show right here. So just take a minute and scan down, make sure that you have responded to all the comments. Make sure you are aware of any new followers, right? What's cool is when people tag you on things, you can actually heart the tag or the comment that they mentioned you in. So do that. Just make sure that you've fully assessed your interactions for the day. I do this a couple times a day. I don't do it all day. It's better in pieces. I do block weird accounts. Yes. While you guys are doing this, I'm going to tell you a story. I posted a video of me and my husband. I was making my shake in the morning, but I was really making fun of my husband because he was being funny. Anyway, so I posted this photo. It really had nothing to do with business, coaching, like none of it, right? It was just like this funny video of my family while I was making a shake. So I was like, oh, I'm making my shake. So all of this. And it went like global viral, like not just like viral in the United States, like global viral in like the Middle East. So there was like over 1 million views on this video that had nothing to do with my business, right? And it attracted like so many weird people. So I gained like so many followers from it, but none of them were the ones that I wanted to be following me. So it is not a blessing to go viral. It is always super key to stay on context in your feeds. If you go viral with something that's like really applicable, awesome. If you don't, it's a nightmare. So I would not even think about like, oh, is this post going to do well? Or is this post not, like, it doesn't, like it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. So just focus again on being authentic, putting out there what you hope to help people with that day or yourself with that day. Block the weirdos, move on. Okay. This very last exercise is going to segue into the connection section as well, which I love. So what I want you guys to do is find one of your favorite accounts, like your big account that you follow. It can be a mentor, it can be a brand, it can be like a mindset page. I want you actually what I want you to do is I want you to write who that is for you on Instagram in the chat. I want you to write the handle of the pages that you follow, like some of the bigger ones that like motivate you, push you, give you content, whatever it is. I love at Mindset Therapy. I follow that one. That one's really good. I love Gary Vee, right? I love the Gottmans for marriage and counseling. They're incredible. Dr. Becky at Good Inside. I like that. I love At Kids Eat in Color. This is one of my favorite nutrition websites. I actually started following it because of my kiddo who has sensory issues, teaching him how to eat like different foods and try different things. I've learned more about food from that account than any other thing because she basically is teaching parents how to feed their kids. It's fascinating. So I love that one. Okay. So, I love Fit Man Cook too. Oh, it's so good. So addicting. Mel Robbins, perfect. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. These bigger accounts that you follow that you're just like, I love this content. What I want you to do is I want you to learn how to network in them because these are your people. They're people that are following this account. Most of the things that we follow are personal development related, right? Like nutrition, Gabby Bernstein, she's awesome. Just little things like this. But when you start to interact with the people who are following her as well, or them as well, you start to find like-minded people. And one of the most important things on social media is surrounding yourself with people that you learn from, that inspire you, that motivate, that challenge you, not that create competition or angst or feelings of low self-esteem, right? Like you really want to build yourself up in your social media space. So with this particular exercise, this is how I find the most authentic relationships on social media organically, right? You can be intentional and still have it be organic, right? Some people think that if you're intentionally looking for something or asking for something, that it's not authentic or it's not organic, and that's not true, right? Okay, so go to whatever page you're going to focus on. And what I want you to do is go into their content and look for a post that resonates with you. And I want you to pull up the comments section of it. And on these big accounts, they usually have a big comment section. So this particular one has 6,000 comments, right? Which is a lot. What I want you to do is pull up the comments and I want you to like 10 or 15 people's comments in that comment section. Just make sure you're not liking a comment that you disagree with or that's like a hater gate on Instagram. Make sure they're ones that you resonate with. Okay, we're just going to do this together. It takes like 1 minute. Don't do too many or else you'll get blocked from liking things. Okay, as you're doing that, every single time you guys heart someone's comment, it sends them a notification. At Coach Jace liked your comment. Most people don't get 1,000 notifications a day that people are interacting with their content. They just don't. And so every single notification they notice. This is one of the best ways to leave your digital business card, because they'll go to their notifications and they'll be like, who is this at Coach Jace? She liked what I said. She acknowledged my mind. She acknowledged my opinion, right? Not she liked my picture and how I looked. It's a deeper kind of connection immediately when you like someone's opinion, when you like someone's comment, when you like someone's thoughts, then just simply acknowledging a photo. This is just teaching like a deeper way to connect on social media. It seems very simple, might seem like a waste of time. It's not. They'll go to their notifications, they'll see your name, and they'll go to your page and they'll be like, who is this person? What are they about? And if you're on context, right? Like you're showing sort of the work that you're doing, they may follow you just because they need inspiration. They may follow you because they now think you're like-minded. Humans don't need a lot to connect. They can connect on very small things that can turn into really big, beautiful relationships, right? This is just us opening the door. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do, heading down into the connection section of this, we're going to double down on this a little bit. Okay. This is your opportunity to kind of coach out loud. This is your opportunity to like take the next step and like make an actual connection with someone. So you're going to stay on the same page, just pick a different piece of content, something else. It can be something you've already seen. And so you already know what the content is. I want you to, again, pull up the chat or the comment section. And instead of just liking it this time, what I want you to do is I want you to look for comments to either coach out loud on. It depends on what kind of page you're on. For example, some of the nutrition pages or some of the fitness stuff or whatever, I can't even tell you guys how many people post things like, I wish I looked like this. I wish I had this discipline. I wish I could do this. Those are your golden nuggets. That's when you go in the comment section and be like, hey, I just noticed your comment. You can do this. And you coach them out loud. This is such a beautiful way to practice without any judgment. Just practice coaching, practice being kind to people, practice lifting people up. I'm telling you guys, this activity will make you feel so good. Even if you just do 1 or 2 comments a day and you're able to just give for free. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes and I want you to engage in the comments. Enter the chat, interact with the commenters. Okay. So, really quick, we're going to switch gears just a titch. One of the best ways to connect with people is one of the scariest ways for me, but it's to connect live. So I'm going to put you guys in an awkward position. And I want you to do a real-time reel. Have you ever done that before? Okay. You guys are going to love this. It's really simple. Okay. But all you do is you pull up your Instagram, right? Like you can even use your favorite filter if you want. I know it's really early in the morning. I just want you to go to the reel, hit the camera button. You can do start a new video, or you guys can even just record it in your stories if that's easier. However you want to record it, I don't care. But it's really simple. And the more you do this, the more your followers start to really connect with it, because this is how they see your personality. This is how they see the tone of your posts that are just text come off. Like they have to see how you interact behind the scenes. So if I'm really guilty of this. I don't post a lot of things live, like a video, like of myself talking and like actually interacting with people. I used to do it in my stories a ton until they kind of stopped doing stories. And so now you almost have to do it in your feed a little bit to get more attention. But I think this is important to do 1 or 2 times a week, just so that people know your personality and know who you are. They can hear your heart. They can see like your authenticity. Like, and honestly, you guys, even if you're super awkward, that almost adds credibility, because they're like, okay, well, at least this is real. You can't look like you feel awkward and have it be fake. Awkwardness is not something you fake. That is something you try to fake away, right? So don't stress so much about this. What I want you to focus on, there's 3 things you can do in a real-time reel that are super simple. Number 1, share a really simple quote. If you took 5 minutes this morning to refocus, share something that you thought through this morning, and then ask for feedback or ask for advice. You can get on there and be like, good morning, everybody. I'm looking like I really need a boost this morning. Tell me your favorite quote in the comments. It doesn't have to be a fully laid out, like planned skit in order to be an effective reel. This is just it can even just be a live video. You don't even have to make it a reel. It can just be a live. So share a quote or a thought, ask a question or for advice. People love that. Or you can play a game and do like 2 truths and a lie. Be like, hey, it's Thursday. Let's get to know you. Here's 2 truths and 1 lie about me. And then tell 2 truths and a lie. I'm going to give you 3 minutes so that you don't overthink it and you just get it recorded. Okay. Are you guys ready? Everyone's face looks like they're going to throw up. It's fine. I didn't say you have to post it. I'm just saying you have to make it. Okay. So just make it. Okay. I'm going to give us a minute. Get that done. I'm going to mute it so you guys don't hear mine. Okay, how did it go? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I didn't do it and 10 being I did do it, what's your number? This is meant to call your attention to the live connection. Honestly, you guys, at this point, it is one of the only ways to decipher yourself from everyone else. It's the only way. Do you know why? Because no one is you. No one can duplicate you better than you. And so if you're like struggling to really figure out like how do I stand out, go live. Go live more. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple, but do it often. And people will start to connect with you way faster. This is like, I like to think of going live as a way to fast track everything. Think about it. Live form is so much more effective, fast, meaningful than any text could ever be. That's the beauty of human connection. And that's what this section is all about. So while some of us connect a lot better through text, right? The more you start to connect live, the better you get at it. And actually, it becomes a preferred form. This 12 years ago, when I started coaching, would have literally made me want to throw up in the bathroom. I could never talk about awkward. I was so terrified to get on a live call with my coach that it took him 3 weeks to get on like a phone call with me just to hear my voice, and then like to do a video call, forget it. Right. So one of the most beautiful things about coaching for me was like seeing all these people so extroverted and like doing videos and connecting with people that way and like passionately helping them. It was something that I felt was impossible for me. Impossible. But it's something that I ultimately wanted to be able to do. Like I wanted to be able to do a video call like this and be like, hey, how's it going? No way could I have done that. No way. It took a long time and a lot of work, especially in the area of connection, to really learn how to not be afraid of people, right? Like, so I just want you guys to know that if you're in that position, it does get better. There is a lot of hope. And the more that you do it, the faster you'll track that comfort level. So just do it like again and again and again. Okay. Okay. Our last little thing that I wanted to comment on is really just a tip for this connection piece. And then we're going to move to Facebook and do 2 things and then be done. So my tip is audit your following. Like when you're on social media, on your Instagram, audit who you personally are following often, because I guarantee you that your followers, one of the first things they look at, and maybe you can check this with yourself too, is how many people they are following. If you go to an account and it's somebody that you admire, somebody you look up to, one of the first things I do is look to see who they follow. So like Mel Robbins, right? Like Gary Vee. I look at all of the people that they follow because those are the circles that I want to be in. And there's always gold in those accounts, right? So we have to assume that people are doing the same thing with us. We have to assume people are going to our pages and looking to see who we are following. And if it looks like you're following a bunch of people you don't know, you lose credibility. I'm telling you that right now. So if you look like you follow people, you're very selective with who you follow on your Instagram account, your business Instagram account, it will add credibility. So if you converted your personal page to your business profile, right, and you've got a lot of crossover, that's okay because you know all those people. Those are genuine relationships, right? However, it's important for you to now go in and follow personal development pages, pages that show that you're growing, that you're learning, that you're educating yourself with, that you have mentors, that you are surrounding yourself with people that are going to help elevate you. Does that make sense? This is also really just good for you guys, right? Like you want your feed to be full and you want your feed to be fulfilling. That's really like the more important part of it here. Okay. Okay. We're going to switch gears really quick. I just want to show you really fast how to, who of all of you guys works on Facebook more than Instagram? I love Facebook. Facebook is like long form social media, and I'm a long form girl. Instagram is so visual and it's super short form. I love connecting through text, right? Again, I'm good at either, but I love thinking out like really thoughtful things that people can save, go back and read, like really ingest, slowly take their time, like thinking through, like I love that. I love making people think. So with Facebook, what I really love to do is ask questions, because people are very social and very opinionated on Facebook. Can I get an amen? This is where everybody's like, here's all my colors, look at them all, right? Here's what I believe. Here's what I think. Here's how much money I make. Here's what I spend my money on. Here's what I eat. Here's what I like. It's just like literally you could find out anything about any person on Facebook. It's awesome. I love that through all of this social media madness, Facebook has remained true. It really has. It's the same. It's consistent. They haven't tried to make that platform anything other than really what it is. They've added features, but they haven't tried to become like what Instagram did with TikTok, right? That was fun. So with Facebook, it's really interesting because people just like to talk there. So you can ask almost any question. And if you ask a question a day and your audience gets used to you doing that, you will see your interactions explode. So I like to ask varieties of questions of all kinds, social, personal, health and wellness related, like it doesn't matter. I like throwback posts, like what's one invention that no longer exists now, but existed when you were born? There's like, it's just so interesting for me to just get to know people. And I think when you really show that interest just in people in general, you start connecting a lot more. You start having a lot more conversations, which lead to them usually saying, I've been following you. I see you doing your workouts. Like, what are you doing? It naturally will lead to those conversations a lot of the time. So what I want you to do is just pull your Facebook open and I want you to start a conversation for the day. Pick a topic and ask a question about it. If you have a hard time with a topic, and I maybe post in the chat what question you asked, just for people who are like, I have no idea what to ask. And just see how much interaction you get on it today. There's this term, I'm just going to say this while you guys are doing this. There's this term that I kind of adopted when I really started to grow my business on social media. And my goal was never have dead media. And all that meant was never go a day without talking to somebody. I never want to ever have dead media. So for me, it's really more, am I talking to people in general? Like, even if I'm not having conversations about health and wellness or inviting somebody to my challenge group, if I'm talking to people, like one-on-one commenting, like I'm having actual personal interactions with people on social media, then my media is not dead. And that was fulfilling for me. There's got to be a good balance between business and you just really growing, like using this opportunity to connect better, learn how to interact with people better, learn how to influence people in positive ways, practice coaching out loud for free, right? There's just so many little lessons that strengthen you as a coach when you take on those habits and when you set those goals. They're different than I'm going to hit Success Club this month, right? But if you have a very fulfilling and rewarding social media experience, meaning it's giving back to you in a way that makes you better and you give to it in ways that make others better, that in itself is such a fulfilling environment to be in every day. It makes you want to show up more. You know what I mean? So when you're so focused on DMing people and copy and pasting and messaging invites and doing all that stuff, you lose the human interaction. You lose the human piece of this, and that connection is gone. And that's why you burn out, why you hate it, why you are feeling like a failure, why nothing is working, why you aren't becoming that person that you want to become. Everything really comes down to being seen and being heard. That's what every single human being wants. And if you are not feeling seen or heard in your own space that you're creating, you got to switch it up, right? Take up that space differently. This is your world that you're creating, and you get to bring the people into it that you want to. Okay. So every day, try and start a conversation on Facebook. I promise it will give back to you all day long, especially if you ask funny questions. It's just like creates this energy within you of, you're not thinking about fear when you're laughing, right? Like if you're scared out of your mind, but like you're doing something that's like making you laugh, you can be scared, but the laughter is going to take over. And that's kind of what I'm trying to teach here is with connection, is you've just really got to learn how to find what really fulfills you, what really matters and what really doesn't. And I think people are attracted to that. People really magnetize to that because they don't feel like, oh my gosh, she's just here to sell stuff. And I will tell you, if you are, that's okay. Just own it. I love social selling. I love selling products that help people. Like I will say that all day long, every day. Do I care about what they cost? No, I don't even focus on that, because the product itself is what I'm trying to get in people's hands, right? Like I like selling hope to people that they can change. And here's a tool that can help you do that. I like selling that people can become whoever they ultimately want to become. I like selling that. So all day long, I'll do it. And all day long, I'll own it. I love it. Right? Okay. The very last thing, we're not going to have time to work on your follow-ups, but just connect with a challenger one-on-one. This is our last 1 minute, thing. I want you guys to pick a challenger or pick a partner in your organization. And I just want you to reach out to them one-on-one right now. It can be text or DM or whatever, and just be like, hey, I'm thinking about you today. How is your day looking? Catch me up. I'm going to share the PDF again while you guys are doing this. This is another non-negotiable for me. I have to follow up one-on-one with a challenger or a partner every single day, no matter what. By far and none, that helps me stay connected to my business more than anything else. I'm just going to go up and read some of these questions while you guys are finishing up. I have a hard time with lives as I always feel like I stumble on my words. I need to find better topics and always feel like I'm standing in front of a ton of people and about to throw up, preach it to the choir. I'm going to chalk it up to just get out and do it. Again, this is just that's just practice. You're just new to it. My son would call you a noob. Do any of you guys know that term? Oh my gosh. Every day I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Remember when you would like judge your parents because they were like old and like out of touch, and you're like, I'm never going to be like that. And now I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's really weird. It's weird. Anyway, that's just practice, right? Let's see. Oh yeah, see, I love all of these. What gets you excited about the new school year? That's a really good one. Okay, hopefully you guys got the PDF. In September, our Power Hour schedule is a little bit different. My partner needed to take the last couple weeks. So I actually have I'm sorry. That's the opposite. I have the 21st and 28th next month. So my partner's doing the first 2 weeks. I'm doing the last 2 weeks. Okay. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll post it up on YouTube. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.